Hi everybody, it's Alex and Ilya from NEAR, and we are continuing our whiteboarding series. Today with us Jun Li from Ontology.
Hi everybody.
Nice
to be here.
Do you want to talk a little bit about yourself and then Ontology?
Yeah, everyone. I'm Li Jun. Actually, is my family name. It's maybe in United States you can call me Jun Li as well. And I'm the founder of Ontology. Also, is co-founder of OnChain. OnChain is the earliest technical company in China, blockchain technical company in China. Yeah, I'm actually work for the IT and the fintech fields. Before the Ontology and OnChain, I'm working for the CFEX, China Financial Future Exchange. China is largest traditional financial exchange. Design the exchange system and something. And 5 years ago, I guess, I was leading a blockchain investigation team, and I think, okay, it's a huge thing. In that time, it's not huge things. No one know blockchain, only know Bitcoin. So I built OnChain. OnChain is another co-founder is Dang Fei, is the founder of NEO. So we built OnChain to private technical service in China or globally, and also we private public chain service like Ontology. Yeah.
Okay. All right, great. So let's start super high level. Do you want to describe how pretty much Ontology like model works from perspective of what's Sybil attack resistance, consensus algorithm, and kind of we can expand from there.
Yeah, I can do a very brief the architecture, very brief introduction. First is Ontology is kind of multiple chain. It's not only one chain, it's multiple chains. It means they have different. We have the public chain be here, right? Public chain is there. In this chain, we are using a consensus model called VBFT. This one is depose plus VRF. VRF is verifiable the random functionality, yeah. And the BFT. Okay, this is, but it's chain network. You still have we call them business chain or sub chain is just fun, and different chain is there. It's chain network, and the chain network they can use different consensus models. We private the modelized consensus models. For example, they can use, I can use just very simple depose, or this kind of things, or just use BFT base, like the DBFT or the other dedicated BFT, those kind of things. And they have protocols to interact each other. The protocols currently, they can exchange the assets, of course, and the next protocols is data. And in the future, we want to also do the transaction. The transaction is not only like Bitcoin is transaction assets. It can transaction means if you have a business process, this one can do the step 1. This one can do the step 2. This kind of things. Yeah, this is basic architecture. And for the infrastructure parts, this is we can call them blockchain infrastructure. Yeah, in this part. But Ontology is actually 2 platforms. Can I use it?
Sure,
yeah. This platform is above the infrastructure. We call them is trust collaboration platform. They include a lot of modules. Many modules includes DID, decentralized identity modules. DDXF is distributed data exchange framework, and the this is reputation system, and also OntSign. Currently, have more module coming. OntSign is the electronic contract and the signature service. All those things which we do this platform is for do real business.
Yeah. So this is all like smart contracts pretty much on top of the
smart contract and the module. It both is based on smart contract, but have it be modularized and be the flexible the functionality and to do that. Those 2 parts platform is Ontology platform to do that. Yeah.
So is this modules in any way like part of the runtime for the actual like what runs on the blockchain, or this is just a code that you can change kind of?
Currently, all those module is runtime on the, but of course you can use as a framework build your own in some private the environment or some enterprise level environment.
I see. All right, let's go deeper in this public chain circle.
Okay. Yeah. One more highlights. One thing is for the scalability for public blockchain, we are doing 2 things. One is sharding. We just released our sharding design. The sharding can support, in this part, it supports the network sharding, and transaction sharding, and more important,
State
sharding. They can support a smart contract. This part, this is sharding. Another behind that, we have the dispute storage service, and the state channel. This is if the layer 1, right? Have a layer 2. Currently have one layer 2 is state channel. State channel it's a little bit like the Plasma, but I have another design. And of course we are working for another state 2 channel protocol. We'll release in next quarter. Yeah.
I see.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, this is basic architecture.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So when you say smart contract state sharding, so let's say I have CryptoKitties smart contract.
Yeah.
Will the CryptoKitties? So let's say I have CryptoKitties and I have some distributed exchange. So they can live on 2 different shards, right? But CryptoKitty as a contract will always live on a single shard, or the contract itself can be living on multiple shards.
Yeah. Actually, they have a message between the shards, right? The shards. We have a message between the shards can quickly share the message. Another, they have the Merc based verification protocol. They can use every shard to verify the status or the
right.
Yes.
So that's how they would communicate.
Yeah, communicate.
But each of them would live on a single shard.
Yeah.
So like, it's not like the CryptoKitties. The contract itself can be sharded into multiple shards.
You mean content can be shared for
the data of the single contract.
Single contract. Yeah, currently the contract in different shard.
Yeah.
Contract design. And welcome to sorry, Hypercheck. You can choose onto.io and the sharding. You can check the paper and the design for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually briefly checked it out before. All right. So actually, I'm really interested to start with this because I mean, there's a lot of kind of conversations on how to use VRFs for the consensus, and like would really love to kind of dive in into that. Can you describe in a way, like let's say from a one node perspective, one of the validator node perspectives, how's the process of pretty much coming up with a consensus in the next block happening?
Okay. First, of course, have a depose, right? And depose you can be a node or the validator node, and one is of course your suppose mechanism, another is reputation. And they have you can select they have a lot of candidate. So
candidates say, hey, I want to be a validator.
You want to be the nodes join, and the candidate post can be from yourself or the community other members contribute for you, and this one, and also you involve some contribution. Contribution is based on how stable your service private in the history or this kind of you have and then you will become the shortlist. Maybe currently it's around 40 nodes around. Is in the finally this is consensus node group, and then they have to the VRF process. They can use random verifiable random functionality to select the nodes from the candidate, maybe 5 to 15. They can select the 10 nodes every round, and based on the use VRF, and then they can use BFT to get finalized the final confirm the transaction, etc.
All right.
Yeah.
So which VRF are you using?
It's similar like Divinity, but it's similar use the similar extension. We have an implementation based on that.
I see. So you're using like all BLS like threshold signature.
Yeah.
And so for threshold signatures, these guys need to exchange generate like separate set of keys for this group, right?
Yes.
And when is that done on the timeline? Like let's say this selection happened,
Yeah.
and then like the previous node's working, and then these guys are generating. How's that? Like how long does it take? And
Currently, this take is currently every node is we have to do 5 seconds. They have the front for selection and for the book checklist. Yeah, currently based on this period. Yeah.
so you switch nodes every 5, or like you regenerate every 5 seconds.
No, the generate block can be
Okay.
verified, and we can select nodes from that. But for the candidate pool, and they will operate maybe the how many 100 120k is the blocks, and we will have a change round based on the selection.
I
and
see.
Yeah, so maybe around less than 1 month, I guess, 2 weeks, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. So it's 2 weeks period.
Yeah, it's 2
where,
weeks period.
Like
yeah.
the next group has time to
Yeah,
regenerate
yeah,
the keys,
yeah,
prepare,
yeah,
and then.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
This is a need for that. But Sharding have another Sharding. The consensus is called PVBFT, and yes, you can check the paper. Yes, maybe. Okay.
Interesting. And then so let's say we have these 10 nodes, right? How does everybody on the network know which these 10 nodes like, or transactions are flooded across everybody?
Yes, it currently is across everybody, and they have a candidate or the node who is this round. They will got information from that. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting. And then okay, so I mean I would love to go deeper into sharding.
Yeah, you
because
can check the paper.
Yeah, I saw you guys doing exponential sharding, right? So
Yeah.
like in pretty much you have a hierarchy of shards.
Correct shards.
Like you have pretty much shards that like have parent shards, and they.
Yeah, it's just like a mock tree, and you can give a status check, and also you have the sharding, the message between sharding can easily got the information, basic the tree root and the status, and to do a verification, etc. Yeah.
Can you explain maybe more how is that exactly happening? Because so the main problem with sharding is that if one shard is malicious, right? The validators are malicious.
Yeah.
They can tell everybody else that hey, here's the state. I have all of us have $1 billion now.
Yeah.
Like trust us.
Yeah.
So how does everybody else verify that?
They have a route. Actually, to be honest, I am not very involved for the sharding.
Okay.
I have a research team, but they have a verified the validator process to all the messages. The message can be verified by other shards to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, you can check the detail for
Yeah,
the paper.
yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. All right. So here, I mean, other interesting parts that what is the like smart contract platform are you using?
Okay.
How does like runtime integrates and
Okay.
things like that?
Actually, we are can to say the multiple the smart contract platform.
Oh, nice.
One is called NVM. NVM is we have a joint the team join the team group technical team with Neo, and we build a VM together. We call it NVM. But I have a different implementation. In the NVM is like the EVM, but more light and more functionality and more codes, more operation codes. We implemented Go level and NVM. NVM we have a lot of computers. Is they can do the pattern, right? They can pattern. We can convert the code to be the NVM code, the bytecode. Yeah. And they can currently support the Python and Go, JS, Java. You can use all those language to build the smart contract based on the NVM. Yeah, another is called Ontology Watson. Currently it's in our testnet. Watson can support C and C++ and Rust. Yeah, that's all. This is standards, but we use Go to
implement it.
Yeah, implement it. Another country working another VM is called RISC V structure. It's also based on this structure have a new VM, we are doing that. And finally, all those kind of VM we can do integrated in one platform. That means you can use different mechanism, deploy your smart contract in different VM to do that.
Interesting. How I'm really interested how you guys doing Python conversion into a VM.
Yeah, we have a program. If you you have finished a Python code, and the code will be compared with to convert become the bytecode.
Well, like usually for bytecode you need like types, and like for optimal bytecode.
We've done that by myself. We have
actually do
we have a
type
Python.
inference?
Yes, we can convert this.
So not all of the Python will go through, right?
Yeah.
Because like reflection doesn't work.
Yeah.
very
Yes.
well.
Yes. We they have a specific some program.
Sub.
Yes, it can be a subset
Yeah,
of the
subset
Python.
of Python. Okay.
Yeah, because we need to keep some security and something.
Yeah, and same for JavaScript, I'm assuming.
Yeah. We all have the convert for those language and become the bytecode, and you can deploy for that. Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
And what's the performance like from perspective of if I write the same program in Python and Go, how fast will it run on the VM?
The different languages actually know some, because the converter is not doing online or runtime. It's actually before you deploy the smart contract, the converter have been done. Yeah. So the running performance for different languages is similar. This VM currently is implemented by Go, and the whole TPS in 10 nodes we're testing is currently in the normal environment, and currently is the 10 key, 11 key is. But if they have the networking, the condition is not good, maybe we'll lower down to the 7 key. 7 key is around this TPS. Yeah.
Is it payment transactions?
Yeah.
And that's a single shard.
What you mean single shard?
Single shard, one shard.
In one shot, currently is 1 minute. Your 10 nodes is one shot. Yeah. If you use different shards plus together, it's not not a real TPS. The TPS in the single network with for BFT based. If not BFT based, the consensus will be more quick because you can easily know lots of communication between nodes. You can easily do to increase. For example, I only have a depose, and we can easily very high performance for that. But normally PFT based, that is quite good performance right now if we can reach this one.
Yeah, I mean this is pretty interesting because, so this is if all the nodes in the same subnetwork, I'm assuming, with a good connection, right? Because if you put them kind of in different places in the world, just the latency alone.
So if the network, because for consensus process, the networking cost is high. It's important cost actually. If the cost is, they will be lower down to even lower more. Yeah.
How many round trips does your consensus take? Like between, so you have, let's say 10 nodes, right?
Yeah.
From like when they, elected through VRF till the block is published and broadcasted. How many like communications between nodes happening here?
Round, right? Round is currently is 4 rounds.
4 rounds.
4 round. Yeah.
Okay.
4 round. Yeah.
So this involves this is at this moment whatever transactions they had, they pretty much exchange information.
Yeah. Actually, the transaction, you mean the round transaction is not networking transaction is higher cost for the TPS.
Exactly.
That is things. So normally this one.
Yeah, because your transaction's probably like what, 120 bytes or something. So that's already like.
So the consensus maybe not so decentralized like Bitcoin or Ethereum because, but our strategies want to find some balance between performance and the decentralized level. Yeah, there's no magic. If you want high performance, then you have to centralize something.
Reduce the number of nodes. Talk.
Yeah, that's right.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's super interesting. So you also mentioned you have like dispute storage as part of your public chain.
Yeah. We will launch in this quarter the dispute storage. Of course, we integrated the IPFS protocol as well and added many functionality by ourselves. And it's like we can distribute storage can link together with public blockchain. If you have, for example, we do the distributed data exchange, and for the public chain, they only record the transaction, become a connector. But the real data they can be stored to the. It's kind of option But distributed storage is just an option. We also have a centralized storage with the security. Make sure, okay, I have the crypto mechanism help you to control the data and protect the data.
So it's like just encrypted storage, pretty much.
Yeah. That is one thing. Another thing is just I mentioned we have a trust collaboration platform. They have a distributed data identity framework and distributed. They have even if you manage your own personal data, a lot of data maybe is in different source in government, in bank, or in your university. You need to manage that. You only can control that or link to that. That's enough. But some personal data is quite by yourself. We have a functionality called the, okay, I'm sick here, called the verifiable claim. That means, for example, you can send a message in blockchain. So I'm a blockchain technical expert, and this claim can manage by yourself, and your friends also can prove, okay, I agree with you. That means those kind of data package you can store by yourself, control by yourself. You can use decentralized storage. Okay, I have lots of the verifiable claim about me, personal information. I store in the distributed storage. But in blockchain, you have some linkage address. Okay, if you want to know my technical skills, you can link this link to invoke.
I
can.
So there's just a hash.
Just hash and a linkage or address, data address in blockchain. But all those data managed by yourself. Since individuals they need the distributed storage as one of option to manage that data.
So how does distributed storage is not decentralized, right? You're saying it's
not centralized.
You run it.
We have two storage services.
Okay.
One is centralized, cloud-based,
yes.
but we add a lot of security mechanism. You can protect the data and the crypto functionality be there. Another is decentralized storage. Everyone node can join, just like IPFS, and can manage that. And all nodes can got benefits. For example, they can use ONG token to buy some storage space. And all the nodes also have a reputation on Ontology. If you can be long-term and stable service provider, you can charge more and you can reward more, something like that. And people can use different options to manage their own data.
So if one of those providers does something wrong, do they lose just reputation, or do they lose also part of their stake?
We have a part of stake be there, but also you can private service without stakes. But when people want to use distributed storage, they can choose, okay, this is high risk, but low price. That is stable, but maybe it's depends on them. We can give options to users.
And pretty much all of this functionality is on one platform, right? So it's available through all of the same APIs and the same
from
wallet.
user, this is one platform. Of course, in the behind maybe several platforms and many modules, but the user can use in one platform, one process.
Interesting, cool.
Okay.
So shall we talk about validator selection?
Sure.
Okay.
So the VRF chooses like 10, 15 people from a large set of validators. How is that large set of validators constructed?
You mean how to select the nodes, the validated nodes from that? It's most best, just I mentioned, is VRF, right?
The question is how the large set of nodes is selected.
Oh, the select large. It's have a mechanism, just POS. They need to put stake. Be there. That's one thing. Another is reputation. Reputation is just I mentioned is Ontology score, right? The node can have their score. It's best. One is a stable service. They can provide a stable service in history, no mistake or no shutdown or those kind of thing. Another is their contribution for example, the nodes have a link to a lot of dApps. We have this week we can link to another mechanism called the dApp store, right? The dApp store is a real mechanism. It's not only just a name, not a marketing name. It's more like the app store. The nodes, every dApps can link to some specific OntID. The OntID maybe belong to the nodes, maybe belong to the individual. That is kind of your contribution for the whole ecosystem. if the nodes or individual, you have more contribution. For example, you link to 10 dApps linked to you. Linked to you means some dApps is developed by you, or you introduce dApps to the ontology. And based on their transaction, and you can get a reputation score. And even your stake is less than the other nodes, you still higher rank. So this is balance between reputation and the stake. Yeah.
So a couple questions. One is, if what would prevent me from uploading a lot of bogus distributed applications and having my other accounts transact with them, build up my reputation, and then use that?
Good question. Why you have this question? Because like EOS or some Chuang, they actually no gas fee. This is everyone can think. Okay, I can quickly make a lot of transaction by myself at a lot of accounts, but we still have a gas fee.
I see. So it is possible. It just would be expensive.
Yes, if you do that, your cost will higher than your benefits.
I see. So it would be cheaper.
It's not economically reasonable. So you needn't to do, not necessary to do that. Yeah.
And so now, let's say I was selected through the VRF.
Yeah.
And someone submits a transaction. So I need to submit a transaction to get into the pool of validators, right? Like I need to the staking is a transaction, right?
Yeah.
Why, as a validator who was selected through VRF, don't I have an incentive to censor your transaction? Because if I don't censor your transaction, you get to the pool, you reduce my chance of becoming a validator in the future, right? Like why I as a validator not just censor your transaction out and not?
This is those kind of mechanism. Just select the validating the nodes, right? The nodes every round, the VRF will involving for every round to select different nodes to work together. But they have already in a short list in this part. So they have the two stage to get the become every round final validating group. Yeah. And you actually difficult to control in this part. Yeah. But you can try to the final group for that. Yeah.
But my question is, so let's say I was already selected through the VRF.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm one of the 10 people creating a block, and so there's 9 others with me.
Yeah.
Actually, first question is, so let's say I staked, and so I'm in this large pool of validators from whom VRF is selecting, right?
Yeah.
The bigger this large pool, the less likely I am to be selected.
Yeah.
You mean
that if the pool is very large, it's difficult to be selected.
What I'm saying is that it is in my interest not to make the pool larger, right?
Yeah.
So if someone is submitting a staking transaction, it is in my best interest to pretend I don't see it.
Okay. You mean that the pool too large, you're difficult to be selected by yourself, right? This kind of mechanism is, for example, the shortlist, right? They will got benefits from, for example, the gas fee will return to the nodes. Even this round, you are not joining for the validation and you not be selected for the validating. Of course, you can do some signature and some things, but you are not in the final validating nodes. You also can get reward from gas. Become maybe your standby. You are ready for that. You also got the benefit for that. So this is not only for the. They have a balance between that. Yeah.
But do you run the models? Is it the case that my benefit from including someone is strictly bigger than the benefit of not including them?
You mean our team to include someone?
No.
So
is it the case that for me, as the validator chosen by the VRF, it is more beneficial to include the staking transaction than to ignore the staking transaction?
Yes, we're a little bit higher.
Okay.
But not means other guys not got benefits.
Okay.
That's the thing. Yeah. Okay.
Cool. And when people are validating, so let's say I was chosen by the VRF, what will be considered? In which case will it be slashed? So if I do double signing, that's a slashable behavior, right?
Yeah.
What if I'm just offline? Do you slash for being offline?
We have some the monitor the process is like the fishman or in protocol is if you do this kind of double sign the things you will impact your stake as well is because we show evidence and your stakes will be checked that. And for the process, of course, you find some double signed the transaction. This round will be skipped. It will not be finalized. We'll kick off another round maybe.
Yes, double signing makes sense. Let's say I'm not double signing, I'm just completely offline.
Yeah.
So I was chosen by the VRF. It's my turn to be a validator and I'm completely offline.
Yeah.
Will it be slashed for being offline?
Currently not. We have just a monitor for that, but not automatically in the runtime to do it.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
So you don't update the reputation if somebody's offline?
Today, you mean? Yeah,
So right now, if let's say one of the validators who was supposed to be validating
Yeah.
didn't show up,
Yeah.
right? Did you update their reputation?
Yes, there will be they do some the things is reputation also included just you mentioned you do some wrong things reputation will be down, but they do some stable things and reputation will be higher. So this is reputation where you have an score beside that have the formula to calculate that.
Well, is reputation like updated every block pretty much, or
Almost every block.
almost
every block.
for just for validators, right, or for everybody?
Actually, it's for this can be calculated for every Ont ID.
I see.
Ont ID they can be a node,
Yeah.
also can be an individual. Yeah.
But you're saying it gets updated every 1 or 2 blocks.
Yeah, they will update, but the thing is, the reputation or score is kind of logic.
Yeah.
The logic needn't be calculation every time and stored to the blockchain. Blockchain have the data, right? We can do the raw data, right?
Yeah.
Store it. And once you want to know which ID's reputation, you can
Recalculate.
query the raw data and the calculation, maybe off chain or this way.
I see.
Yeah.
So, like a node wouldn't do this calculation, probably.
Yeah, some nodes do, some nodes don't do. Some nodes they okay. I private some reputation query service you can quickly, and they will do the logic calculation in their nodes private service to others. But this not must have to do. Yeah,
But you do need to do it when you're doing selection of the validators, right?
that needed to do because that's round is almost just I mentioned maybe 2 weeks. We will do the calculation and we have service to do calculation and send the. And other every 2 weeks, other nodes also check the calculation is correct or not,
I see.
and finalize the selection for that. Yeah.
I see. So pretty much you have a service that gives the answer, but then everybody else can like fisherman it and check. that
Yeah,
it's
fisherman
correct.
can check because you got people just results calculated by yourself. They can use the same raw data calculation
Yeah.
and basic the rows the calculate again.
Yeah.
Everyone can check, and even other people not in that, just an individual, our community member, they also can do the calculate by themselves. Okay, this round is wrong. Who is not so high? They can figure out that. Yeah.
And would the is there a way to to punish pretty much the service that provided
Yeah.
the wrong data?
Yeah. If wrong data and we can figure it out and they have a proven evidence, they have got some. Kind of,
How does that pretty much dispute would work?
you mean the
Yeah. So let's say the service you said
Yeah.
posted here's a list, right, of the pre-selected nodes, right?
Yeah.
And like let's say a signature of the service. Now I'm just an individual, I calculated it, I'm saying, hey, this is different, right? So I have my different list.
Yeah.
So how does this dispute will work?
You mean if they have different because the for example formula or the calculation way is open and all the data the input data is in blockchain. They have a consensus confirmed. Everyone can use the formula easily to calculation the result. Even our official team also can open the announce the calculation, and it's more like the community based activity. If someone run and people and confirm easily calculation again, necessary things.
Yeah. So I understand that they can do calculation, but how's like after, let's say community confirmed this was wrong, how do you send a transaction saying this is wrong? Who signs that? Like who punishes?
Yeah, currently we have a off-chain process.
I see, off-chain.
Yeah, to do that. But we'll announce finally. But the selection will be a transaction to all the currently concerned nodes. People know, okay, they will verify the calculation result. Yeah.
So let's say, okay, this was wrong. Everybody agreed.
Yeah.
Do people need to like change something in their node then to like punish it, or like how do you input it back into blockchain?
Yeah, the currently is if the formula or some calculation approach be upgraded, people may be upgraded to the nodes, and otherwise the currently concerned nodes will recalculate the list and double check, confirm that they will have a consensus model for this one. So once they have a transaction, have a consensus model for the new selection for that. But of course, you still can challenge for that. But that way currently use off-chain process to do that. Yeah.
Okay.
It's more like currently, foundation will be the proposal, and okay, who is wrong?
Who is wrong?
Do you agree? And no, anyone can be voted. And foundation currently is more power in this off-chain.
Has this happened before?
No,
you needed to step up?
Still not.
Okay.
Because all the data in blockchain, all the input in blockchain, it's easily to check.
Well, if there's enough lag between people checking,
understand.
Like you can vote in yourself.
Understood. But currently not. Everyone involved, they will check that.
Yeah, because pretty much the
easiest
path to double spend is like fix this, put myself here, create a block that is.
It's quite a challenge.
Right?
Actually, this blockchain in those kind of decentralized governance process cannot do everything just controlled by technology. You have to involve some incentive and even inform sometimes cases of chain process. Okay.
All right. Cool. So one more thing I wanted to discuss was you mentioned that you have pretty much it's a web you have a public chain and you have, I'll call them private, right? And you have right now at least a way to exchange assets, but you also want to add data, and you want to have like transactions that fly through. So how does this work right now, and how you envision it working?
Currently, you can build your cannot say blockchain. It's like a business blockchain in your network, and use Ontology framework. As I mentioned, is the several things we can modelize when you build your own public blockchain. Modularized means for consensus process, you can use different consensus node process for that. Another is storage. You can use different database. For example, currently we are using the level DB or stock DB, and they can choose different DB for the storage as well, and they can build their own governance model. Governance model also include the token design. They can design their own token design and mechanism. You can do that, and build your own the business blockchain, and we have a protocol to exchange assets in your blockchain. And Ontology, for example, ONG, it can be use the protocol to use in the different sub blockchains.
So how does protocol work? Because let's say I say, hey, I moved the ONG here, and then I made more ONG.
The first version protocol is it's a lot of details. The basic is based on the hash lock. The hash lock, you have a put stake in the mainnet and for ONG, and you can issue another token on your mapping to the ONG, and in the mainnet ONG, and a little bit like the state channel, but so
it's a bridge pretty much.
Yeah, it's kind of a bridge.
Like you lock here ONG, and you issue here like ONG dash.
And this is one way. Another way is hash lock, but this is slow way. Hash lock is we can do they can transfer this one, change this one want to change the ONG. They have the hash lock protocol. They not issue a new token, but they can directly exchange ONG or to their own token. For example, some BCG this way, and use a hash lock to do that. But this protocol is a slow one. This is high speed.
Yeah.
It's currently we are using the two protocols, and probably we are designing other more protocols, change the data, even just mentioned the step-by-step collaboration.
So even right now, let's say because this is like operated by me, right?
Yeah.
Let's say I can just go start it up.
Yeah.
You know, my consensus is ILSS.
Yeah.
And like I lock in one ONG, and then I wanna pretty much like public blockchain will not allow me to exit with more ONGs than it was before, right?
Yeah, of course.
But what about if it's like a let's say it's some type of asset that is native with my blockchain, right? So let's say I made a thing, I created CryptoKitties on it, right? Like it's on contract, and I now created them here, right? Like there's nothing that's locked here, so there's nothing to validate.
Yeah.
Well, how would this work?
You mean you just issue your own token in your
So I issue my own, let's say, NFT, right?
Yeah.
How does this blockchain will validate some properties of it? So like let's say there's a DEX here, right? Like I want to list it on.
They were not. The NFT is just based on your reputation. You issue that. They actually know the stake for the ONG. It's depend on your user is trust your token or not. And another thing is, of course, we have a DDEX. You need to check. Another is the transaction. Currently, they can share the validator, the group. Some validator can support multiple blockchain. They also can your ledger also in some validator process as well. And some transaction or logged records they also can log to the public chain periodically. And
I see. So that's like more like Plasma.
Yeah, like Plasma. But the protocol is a little bit different. Yeah, but the basic idea will be similar.
I see.
Yeah.
And then, but like the part of Plasma, right, is that you actually start from here and then you check out and check in. Right? Here you actually can create new
we're
stuff.
not so you have to do this here. We want to be more flexible. Don't want to control too closely. Yes, to do that. Because we have another important identity is all those account-based or address-based is based on the OntID. That is important. We want to control more account, not for the assets actually. We want to, you can open for you can issue your own assets for the sub-blockchain, but the account always based on the OntID.
Yeah.
You can track together, yeah.
So on the like, on the storage level, how do you enforce that? Like account ID here and account ID here, like it's the same space.
You mean storage? Save that, right?
Yeah. So let's say there's a storage here, right?
Yeah.
Which is like, I'm assuming account ID, like OntID is not a public key, right? It's a.
You mean OntID?
Yeah.
OntID is public.
Is a public key?
Not public key. Not public key. They have some convert. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is some type of string. And then I have storage here as well on my chain. You said you pretty much want to control that here. It's
you mean that is just want to do a link is kind of a mapping. For example, we have OntID, right?
Yeah.
That is not a public key. It's for example some Unicode the ID,
yeah.
And you can link different account. One account maybe the ONT or ONG account, right? Another maybe your NFT account.
I see.
They will keep mapping together. But for the ONT, this is since they are our sub-chain, when they generate an account, they automatically mapping together. This means even in the future, you can add, my bank account, my Facebook account. You can prove, all those things is belong to me. But the control is by yourself. People don't know who link who, but you can prove, all those accounts belong to me. I can send my evidence to you. Use my OntID to manage all those kind of link. Yeah.
And this is done so like there's one key or set of keys attached to this OntID?
You can have multiple keys.
Yeah.
And for example, you have a OntID key one. It's all linked to your all different kind of digital assets account.
Yes.
Another key is bank account. But also you can merge
bunch of OntIDs.
Yeah, for example, you to bank to apply some financial service. You can you need to show your assets.
Yeah.
I have assets as a Bitcoin. I have assets in bank. I also have my degree in university. All those link to my aunt ID. I can prove all those things is belong to me.
So how's it proving then?
This is, for example, you can link to a Bitcoin or the another is for example Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Twitter. Currently, you can link your Twitter account to the why how prove your Twitter is. You can issue a Twitter be there, so you can my aunt ID a link with your signature in your Twitter account, and you put the account link to there. People to verify can easily this Twitter have your tweeted and with your aunt ID with your signature. Okay, I agree. Okay, you are the owner for this account.
Okay.
Yeah, that's this way. The other way is, for example, Bitcoin. You can use a private key to sign your aunt ID and put evidence to blockchain. Everyone can involve. Okay, this account belongs to you. They can use public key address to
public key
verify
to
you.
check.
Yeah. You can link to all the things. Yeah.
And so you said, but like, what's the relationship between aunt ID and actual like cryptographic keys? Is it like one-to-one or one-to-many?
One-to-many.
One-to-many?
Yeah. Aunt ID is more like a business level.
It's like an account, right? And then
It's
you have
like
many
account.
different
yes,
access
yes.
points.
Your SS address, just digital SS address, just one kind of address. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. Is there any other parts of ontology that we didn't cover?
Yeah. Just want to highlight we have a lot of economic mechanism design.
Yeah.
One is due token. Due token is quite important. I want to double check it as well. Why we think public chain token design mechanism is quite important. Because currently for public blockchain, people almost use focus on utility token. You use gas to use transaction fee. But one thing is why we need due token, ONT and ONG. This one is gas, right? But ONG is for governance or those things. The token design means, okay, we can use ONG for the utility to use that. But the people want to support you, the holder the ONT, what benefits they can get. For example, in the Hypic, the Ethereum have $1 million one day, the transaction fee. But all those fees is benefit for miner, right things.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the other holders. Actually, the holder is supporting you or funding you or something. They hold your token not only to involve you or use you, something also kind of benefits. So we are designed that is all the gas be used in the ontology platform. Will return to the ONT holders. But one thing we add is the holder need to involve the governance process. They need to put a stake or do some contribution for that. They will go to return. And there will never be, the supply will be fixed.
Of the ONT.
Yeah, the US or the Ethereum will have a 5% more supply every year. They will be fixed. But the ONG will be also this fixed number, but they can be recycling, used and to return to that. That means so if you have more and more application and transaction every day, you will get more and more ONG again and again. Maybe the several cycles. That means we can keep, okay, we don't need to increase the supply to incentive the people, because they will impact the investor before. They hold that you have more supply impact the price. It's not fair actually. Unfair service. We fix the amount and that can be cycling and time and time.
Right.
So that is designed for that.
So yeah, let's actually maybe a little bit discuss this because so you have pretty much few different roles, right? You have people who stake and who actually run nodes because they were selected as stakers, right?
Yeah.
And then you have just holders. So the stakers stake ONT, right?
Stake ONT, yeah.
Yeah. So the stake ONT, they run nodes. So when you run node and you produce a block, right, you get the reward in ONT as well.
Yeah.
So how
not got a reward for ONT. They got a reward for ONG. You mean run node, right?
Yeah.
You got a reward from ONG because all the smart contract transaction is just use ONG.
Yes.
The ONG will back to a pool and reward to the stake and holder and running nodes. They got reward from ONG. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
they receive ONG,
Yeah.
and
Again
and,
and
it
again.
automatically gets sold, right?
What you mean?
You said it's recycled, so it gets sold pretty much to get ONT out of it, or how does it get recycled?
The second means, for example, they have 1 billion
Yeah.
ONG.
Yeah.
They won't be used. They will not be destroyed. They will be returned to the holder. They can use again.
But it's not destroyed.
They can sold.
Let's say I'm one of the node
Yeah.
runners. I received it. It's not destroyed. It's mine.
Yeah.
How is it get recycled now?
You can sort to exchange.
Okay.
You
so
can sell
that's
to
what I'm
other
saying.
guys.
Then it gets.
They have price in
yeah,
secondary
so it
market.
gets sold
Yeah.
on the secondary market.
Yeah. Yeah, secondary market, or you can OTC directly to send it to others. Yeah.
But you're saying it gets recycled automatically, right?
Pardon?
So let's say I'm issuing a transaction
Yeah.
and I'm paying 100 ONG.
Yeah.
Here's a validator node,
Yeah.
and you're an ONT holder.
I'm ONT holder. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm running a transaction. He's a validator. He's staked.
Yeah.
You're an ONT holder.
Yeah.
I'm paying 100 ONG.
Yeah.
Who gets the 100 ONG? Him.
Yeah, he do the ONT he do the validator nodes. They also put a stake up here.
Right.
If you only ONT holder, without involving consensus process, governance process, you will not got benefit. Otherwise, become security, right?
Yeah.
It's not security. You have to do a contribution for that. But currently, we also for the initial, the first page of the ONG, right? They need a dispute mechanism to send out, and they can do the recycling again and again. There's a dispute that's for ONT holder. Every ONT holder, no matter you're joining the consensus node or not, you will got ONG released for the first page. Yeah. If you have a 10 key, and you will got 4 ONG every day right now, they will run to 20 years.
But like, let's say that he's a staking validator. I issued a transaction and I spent 100 ONG. And let's say he doesn't want to sell it, he wants to keep it.
Yes,
Then it cannot get recycled, right?
Yeah, they have enough the supply
Oh, there's
every day. For
there's a
example,
pool, you say.
yeah, Ignatia have 1 billion the ONT
Yeah.
is fixed price and 1 billion ONG. The first 1 billion will release every day to ONT holder.
Makes sense.
So every day have a supply coming. You can hold her. So
So-
next yeah.
Well, let's say, I mean, at the end, people just hold their ONG and don't sell, right? Because
Yeah.
presumably, if it's a fixed price, the ONG price will go up
Maybe.
on the market.
Maybe. But they every day have a new supply coming.
But this is like only for a fixed time.
Yeah,
right?
but every day new supply coming. And if everyone hold ONG,
Yeah.
but every day still have a release every day, you have a new ONG
Oh,
coming.
but for how long?
It's 20 years, we'll release 1 billion totally released.
Yeah. So in 20 years, presumably,
Yeah.
if people
Yeah, yes, it depends. Yeah.
But
Maybe
how is it different from Ethereum inflating 5% every year? You're also effectively inflating.
The
Yeah,
means is if you are actually most for investment part, you are invest ONT, right? ONG is utility token, that's part. ONG is fixed.
I see. And that is distributed on day one.
Yeah, you hold the ONT, not only get the 1 billion release from ONG every day. You can do nothing, got the release every day. And if Ontology ecosystem be very large, a lot of transaction every day, the used ONG will return to you if you join. But one thing you need to do is join consensus process.
But what is it called to be used? Like when I as a transaction issuer use my ONG, it is not really used. It goes to the staker, right?
Yeah, it goes to the stake. The other, it be used in the system and return to a pool.
But
the pool return
how
to
does it return to the pool? Like, why would he get?
like, why would I sell if I'm one of the validators? I'll just keep it for now because its price will not go down, so it only will go up presumably.
Yeah, yes. For example, currently you have a node, validating nodes
Yeah.
process, and once the gas fee coming, transaction coming, one ONG be used, right?
Yes.
That will automatically send it to all the validating node, all the stake nodes.
So I'm not receiving one. I'm receiving like
Yeah,
1,000 or
They have, for example, one and they have a kind of disputed mechanism for all the stake nodes. They will have a formula
Yeah.
to dispute. Okay, one
So this
you
for,
got
for,
zero
for everybody in the list, right? For even the candidates that
not,
were not
not
selected.
for you, not only for you. The one will be maybe you got 0.01. He also got 0.01. But maybe if he's ranked higher than you, there will be 0.02. So everyone shares the one ONG.
But what's the benefit of signing blocks at all? Right?
Signing blocks.
Because if I'm signing a block, but I'm getting as much reward as everybody else who was not selected by VRF, why would they bother even
They
showing
also
up
got
and
that.
signing them?
For example, you put the stake, you be the candidate put. Candidate put can be no limitation, can be thousands, right? Yes, they also will get benefits.
Right, but let's say I got into the candidate pool,
Yeah,
and then VRF selected me.
yeah.
What is my motivation to actually show up online and create blocks? Why would I not just wait
Okay,
out?
great question. For candidate pool, maybe thousands, right? Thousands candidate pools be there. They will got 50% guess, right? Another pool is be selected. Is we count maybe for example country is 50. They will also get another 50%.
Right.
If you in this pool, you will get more. So you can you want to stake more
Yeah, that was my
and build a
question.
high reputation and or interact your community member, vote for me. I'm enjoying that. That's sort of thing. But that is flexible, always
But
flexible.
the best one is like if you're and then from here, right, for every block, you said 10 is selected, right?
yeah.
So here there's no difference, right? You're either if you produced a block or didn't produce a block. So pretty much, like it's efficient to optimize for not being selected.
Yeah, if you being the select, yes, one thing is if you being the top 50, yes, you can get more benefits, but you also have a higher cost. You need to find a balance. For example, you need to stake more, and
But that's not the like staking is not the cost. Cost is actually running hardware. To
stake
validate
also
the block.
costs. Stake have locked your liquidity, right? This is one thing. Another thing is you need to build a reputation. You need to run the node very stable and without the mistake, without sharding, and those of things. Even you let a community member voting for you, it also cost. You need to maintain your community and involve more DApp, etc. So you find a balance, got benefits. It's kind of so. This is why the mechanism design, the economic mechanism, is so important. We don't actually. Before I'm a ETH holder, but the price is not about the ecosystem for that. If some days they have $1 million transaction fee in ETH, all holders should get a benefit. But no, that's a stranger things. Yeah, and I don't like. I like the fixed price or the fixed amount, fixed supply. I don't think every year have 5%. It's not make sense. Who have power to generate another 5%? And also, it's not fair for the earlier investor. I hold a token every year, US ETH, every year 5% supply coming. It's not fair to me. Yeah.
Well, the point should be that people are mining, right? Like if you're just holding and not participating, I mean it's the same. Like you're just saying
If
you
the
need
holding,
to be participating,
yeah.
right? One
if
way or
the
another.
holding not participate, you only got the initial release. They will not got other benefits.
Yeah.
But one thing is why we think decentralized way the participation is very easy.
Yeah.
Even you not round nodes, you can select a node. I vote for you. I can share profits for you. I even have only have a 10 ONT. I can vote. I can put my stake to you.
Yeah.
And you do the round the nodes. You got benefits, share to me. That's the thing. Yeah. This is increasing so indeed.
So if we have the same reputation, for example, or sorry, we have the same stake but different reputation, is this like split non-equally, right? So like having higher reputation with
you
the
have
same
a
stake,
higher rank.
you get
When you dispute the gas, higher rank will get more.
have more. Okay.
And so 10 people is who signs the block, right?
Yeah,
So
every round is 10
every
bits.
round
It's
out of
it's
50.
random. Yeah.
And BFT is run among 10 people.
Yeah.
But isn't the probability of more than 3 people being malicious among 10 is pretty high? No matter.
Since it's random select, the 50 is the nodes is be select by their stake, by their reputation. If they want to do run things, the cost is very high and it's difficult sometimes. And also, once if you have the off-chain fishman mechanism, your stake will be impacted. All the to the 50, there at least there's millions ONT be staked.
Right.
If they do something wrong, and maybe they will impact their own benefits as well.
The 50, they're not random. Those are top 50 ranked by stake.
Yeah.
Stake and reputation.
I see.
Yeah.
And they're pre-selected for 2 weeks.
Reputation means some nodes link a lot of dApps to that. They also have benefits for them.
So those 50 will not change very often, right? Like presumably, like the top 10 whales are always going to be in top 50, right?
Yeah, but still have a change, not whole change, but some, for example, the last 10 will be changing quickly every week, every 2 weeks, exactly. Yeah.
But then, isn't there a risk that, so those 50 people, presumably a large percentage of them will know each other, that's sort of expected, right? Like rich people in the same ecosystem, they happen to know each other.
Yeah.
Like can they do some weird monopoly stuff, like trying to hold on to ONG?
I understand. Those we have currently we use the reputation also includes the really KYC. Who is backend the nodes? You need people know. For example, the Sequoia Capital or the Ontology team or some team, you need to show your background. We will announce in our website as well. People, yes, of course, you can. Okay, those people is work together or try to manipulate or something. Is all the KYC will be open, and the community, a lot is noticed by the community voting. People, okay, I don't trust you. I can vote again. Yeah.
So if these people decide to, like, let's say, they agree on authorize double spend or censor somebody, like it's only the foundation that can actually recover this,
currently
right?
foundation can do some like the monitor or some the regulator to do that, but we don't.
Community cannot actually do much because.
But community can provide. Yeah, community can provide the evidence for that.
But like I'm saying, on chain, there's not much you can do, right?
Producing
all the blocks, they can just
if they
decide to censor, for example,
some
subset of users, they can do it.
That's possible. That's why we involve the reputation. Let the information, backend information, more and more open. Everyone can monitor. They'll know that. Yeah.
But isn't it an unnecessary complication? Why not run BFT on 50 people every single time?
Maybe one is performance is a consideration. Is 50 nodes BFT will be very slow. It's definitely very slow. This is so we try to find some balance for that.
But don't it feels to me that Tendermint, even if you don't use any gossip network, even if they just communicate to each other directly, it's 50 peers, right? And Tendermint is two round trips effectively. Like that should be 0.6 seconds.
Tendermint is not purely BFT. They cut some round. Is if we want to finish the BFT process, we try to use 50 will be a little bit slow than currently. So we want to use VRF to select and find a balance between.
Why do you think Tendermint is not BFT?
Not the BFT. You mean the 50 period is more higher than that, right?
Oh, I'm saying that Tendermint algorithm. Tendermint is a BFT algorithm.
Yeah.
And it has 2 round trips.
Two round
Well,
trips.
technically, PBFT also just takes 2 round trips unless you have to do view change.
Yeah.
And hopefully, with 50 whales, you would not need to do view change.
50 involved is currently, since we have a lot of high frequency the use case. But if we run to that, for example, they need some high frequency to do that, and we want to select 10 and keep more easily supports more high frequency next phase.
And how often do you produce blocks today?
It's flexible. Flexible means, for example, if no ending transaction, it may be 5 seconds. If transaction coming, every second we generate. Yeah.
So you can do. You said you have 4 or 5 round trips.
No, they mean it block generation time is if no ending transaction during this period is 5 seconds, a block generation. If some transaction coming 1 or 2 seconds is generation.
You're saying you're just not producing blocks of transactions. You're delaying blocks if there's no transactions. You see.
Yeah. So it's dynamically. Yeah.
It sounds to me like PBFT among 50 people should definitely finish in 2 seconds.
Yes, it's possible. That is performance is not the period is being set by you, not limited by the performance. Not means performance cannot reach. Actually, you can do every second. You can generate block as well. This is workable.
Right.
Just we want to keep a period.
So if you're generating every second, it will be by the same people, right? They're not switching every second.
Not switch every second, but in some period for 5 seconds they will do another round. Yeah. Not every time. It should maybe several rounds, and we will be reselect. Yeah.
So there's 50 people, all of them pretty much draw via ref, and then they need to communicate to each other, right?
Yeah.
To select the 10, like whoever has the highest.
Select is the process is not they need to communicate each other, but they use VIF. The communication is a simple round. It's not so complex, and it's
it's
quickly
one.
Yeah, it's one round.
One
It's
exchange.
quickly to do that. Yeah. Now we have a paper for the BBFT. If you're interested, you can check that as well. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think
Thanks.
that was a lot
Very
of
good question.
good deep diving.
Yeah, to be honest, I not know all details about it because we have a big team be there. I'm trying my best to share my understanding. Maybe have some mistake. Maybe you can check the paper and give us more suggestion and recommendation.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
viewers as well.
Yeah, I
can
try
do
my
that.
best to explain everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thanks a
Okay.
lot.
Thank you.